Welcome back to Loadout Lounge. My name is Seth Nichols. Today we're going to look at bottles. So I have a wide variety of different types of water bottles, and some of them do not fit in with the others. Typically, primarily these three don't fit in with the others. These are water filtration. So these I will talk about first, and let's get them out of the way and my experiences with them. There's a reason why I have two Grayl and only one LifeStraw. The LifeStraw I tried, and it takes a lot of effort to get water out of it. With the LifeStraw, you're sucking on a straw, forcing the water through the filter, fighting gravity going up. And it's just, by the time you're done drinking, let's say you're on a floating trip or even a camp trip, and you have water in there you're trying to filter, by the time you're done with that float trip, your jaw is a little sore. No pun intended. But with the LifeStraw, not something I would typically recommend to anybody. If you already have one, you know what I mean. But when it comes to water filtration, the best thing I can recommend is the Grayl line of bottles. This one is the Ultrapress and the Geopress. The bigger one is the Geopress. I've used the Ultrapress a lot, and just because it's a little bit smaller and a little bit more compact. But how these work is you actually pull out the housing and you fill this up with water, and there's a little line right there. Maybe we can get it to pick up right there. It tells you don't go above that. And you make sure you undo the lid a little bit to where the air pressure gets pushed out. You push, the filter part is down in here. You push this down and it'll filter the water into this little housing in here. So it won't be as much water as what's in here, but it'll be enough. I've used this one on many camping trips, float trips down the river. A lot of times I go on rivers that are spring fed, so they're already pretty clear, but just to make sure there's no bacteria or other germs and stuff like that, this clears out pretty much anything and everything you're gonna come into contact with that could harm you. So the only, I think, negative thing about the Grayl system when it comes to the bottles is you see how the Geopress has the cap attached to the bottle. Well, the Ultrapress doesn't do that. That would be my only negative thing about the Ultrapress. You have the lid that comes off, and I've almost lost this numerous times. Just setting it down, it blends in with the ground, or rolling off the counter or something like that, and I've almost lost it a couple times. I wish they had done the same thing with that lid, but this is the exact same thing as the Geopress, just a smaller version. So I've used this one quite extensively. Does a very good job. The water tastes fine. Tastes great. So when it comes to filtration devices, like if you're wanting to get purified water on the go, traveling or something like that, the Grayl system is what I would highly recommend. Now, if it's something that you're just wanting to house the water on your day-to-day and just have cold water to drink, kind of different options. Some of them I use for different reasons, like the blender bottle. Everybody knows what a blender bottle is. If you're in the workout realm, you go to the gym, but they're loud. That's really loud. And if I'm going to daily carry something or use it all the time, I'm not going to. Which there's a design purpose and there's a reason for the blender bottle with the blender inside of it. It's for protein powder or protein drinks or smoothies or stuff like that. It needs to be blended up or mixed up. So I understand that. So with the blender bottle, it does its purpose, okay? Now I've kind of modified my version of a little bit of a blender bottle, but it's the Nalgene bottle. This is a 32 ounce bottle, so it holds a lot more liquid than the blender bottle. I think this one is only a 20 ounce bottle. Whereas this is a 32 ounce. Now they do make bigger blender bottles, but with this Nalgene, I've carried a bunch of different Nalgenes over the years. 32 ounce, the wide mouth, the narrow mouth, different things. One of the nice things about the Nalgene system is you can have different lids on there. They make different lids. This one is actually a locking one. So it has this little metal pin, and then you have a button that pops it open. One thing about this type of lid though is this little rubber gasket in here. You cannot keep it from happening, but it's gonna get dirty. It's gonna get kind of yucky looking, maybe a little moldy. Even with cleaning it, scrubbing it over time, it's just what's gonna happen. So I try to steer away from that. I have one. I've not used it, but it's just sitting in a drawer because I'm still using, I have it for whenever this wears out. If this normal wide mouth lid ever wears out, then I'll put that on. But I did put a blender shaker in there. It's still loud, and you could change it out to some of these plastic ones. But this is what I use when I go to the gym. More water than the normal blender bottle ones, but I can also use it when I'm going hiking or doing stuff like that. So as far as working out, this would be the round Nalgene with the little blender bottle in there, or you could just get a generic blender bottle. So then we get into, I think there's only one major brand that I don't have, and that's the Stanleys, which I'm not going to fork over money for the Stanley because I have enough bottles, as you can tell. I have one that for the price you cannot beat it. So, but we'll go through the different ones I have. This one is a form fit, and it's not even been used, I don't think. It's very cheaply made. I don't even know where we got it, but the brand is Form Fit. It looks like a decent bottle. It says hand wash recommended, so it's not going to be something you want to put in the dishwasher, which is probably why we haven't used it, because we don't want to mess with hand washing this thing. I think it's 32 ounce, but it does say, yeah, it's 32 ounce stainless steel. But I'm not opposed to it. I don't like, I've grown to where I don't like where you have to screw them off. I'd much rather have something that's quick and easy. And then also when you're trying to drink, the cap is probably going to be rubbing against your nose. So Camelback has one that's very similar, but this one is magnetized, so it's not going to flip down in your face. And this one is also a 32 ounce stainless steel. It's very well made. I think the one drawback I have to this is the handle. There's not a handle, and I know I'm being very nitpicky, but at the end of the day, I want something that is going to be friendly, user-friendly for me, and not something that I have to worry about how I'm going to carry it. Because a lot of times my hands are full. I have a 4-year-old son. It's like, Dad, will you carry this for me? And I have his stuff, and I have my backpack and my stuff, and then trying to carry something as well, which I have attached this to my bag with the carabiner a few times and used that. So that is an option. But I've gotten some other bottles that I kind of use a little bit more regularly. So this I got from a very close friend for my birthday, and it came without the handle. It's kept my drinks very cold, which typically I only drink water or Zip Fizz in my water or some type of hydration electrolyte enhancement for the water. It didn't come with a straw. I know I'm being very nitpicky, but I wanted something with a straw and a handle. And this, I ordered this off of Amazon. It's a handle made for the Yetis. And it's just gravity that holds it on there. Now, if I was to turn this over and try to shake it around a little bit, it might fall out. You can already tell if you've seen most Yeti 32 ounce tumblers, there's a little slide part that goes here. That broke off, and I'd never even used it really. It broke off in the dishwasher, I think. But what I have done is got a stainless steel straw and put in it, and the handle. I use this all the time. I take this with me every day. Actually, I have water in there that I've been drinking today in there. So the other option, if you don't have a friend that's super nice and buys you a Yeti for your birthday, and you don't want to go buy one yourself or buy a Stanley, you can go to Walmart. Walmart has a very nice bottle. This is a TAL, I don't know how you say it, tall, whatever you want to call it. This is a very well made bottle, and it says made in China. It says do not microwave, but I would like this. I think this was like $14 or $15. It's not super loud. Like if I set it down on the counter, it's not loud. That's pretty loud from the Yeti because it's got a stainless steel bottle. The towel, or however you want to say it, TAL, has kind of a rubbery texture on the bottom, so it's very quiet when you set it down, and it works very well. It screws off, and it comes with a straw, which the straw is rubbery flexible, so I don't know how long that would last, and I don't know how easy it would be to clean. Same thing with this straw. This straw is a little bit, it has a little bit wider of a mouth, or it's a little bit thicker or a little bit bigger of a straw than this rubber one. So if you're the type of person that wants a lot of liquid fast, just upgrade to a different straw. But this has a little bit of a clasp that would keep the water moisture from coming out, and then it just folds up out of the way, and you don't have to have a straw. So it's very well made. The handle is not going to just fall off or break off. Probably if you dropped it a couple times, it might break off. And that's one reason I kind of like the Yeti. If the handle did break, I could just buy another one. With this, the handle broke, I just had to buy another bottle. But 15 bucks. I think honestly the Yeti handle was about that, like $12, $13 or something for the handle off Amazon. So my two recommendations: go to Walmart, get the TAL or TAL, however you want to say this, and or the Yeti. That'd be my two recommendations. So if you have a bottle that you like better, or if you have a bottle that you've been using, if you have a Stanley, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people saying, you should get a Stanley. I'm not buying it. They're too expensive. Maybe I have another friend that's super nice and wants to buy it for my next birthday or Christmas or something. But I've got enough bottles for now. If I break them, I'll figure out something then. But I highly recommend this one. Just for the price, you can't beat this. So Walmart, I don't know what you did to get this, but good job. All right, if you like this, like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. Let me know what bottles I should try. If there's anything, if you've got other water purification or other gym bottles that you recommend, let me know. We'll catch you on the next one.